the goaltenders. No changes. Henrik Lundqvist, fourth game 7. He's 2-1 in these. Has stopped 55 of his last 56 shots. One of the 3 stars 3 times and a shutout. At the other end is Braden Holtby, third game 7. Has stopped 52 of his last 53 in the series. One of the 3 stars twice and a shutout. After the Garden buzzer ended Game 6, the action didn't stop. Everybody had somebody. The struggle for controlling tempers in a collision sport when you really, really don't like the other guy. The officials for Game 7 are chosen on merit from their work these past 2 weeks. Dan O'Rourke and Chris Rooney are the referees. They worked Game 7 together between these 2 teams just a year ago. Brian Murphy and Sean Moran are the linesmen. It is his longest goal-scoring slump in the playoffs. He had a power play goal last week. Mike Richards has largely come up empty. 1 goal and a -2 in 6 games. And so the drama of Game 7 unfolds here with a brush by Callahan, a take by Brouwer, and Carlson connects with Erskine. Rugged defenseman flipped one ahead, cut off by Callahan. Hopes for Stepan, but instead gets Carlson. Led ahead to Ribeiro. Tried to shake it across, taken to the wall by Callahan. Off of Callahan to Ribeiro again and across to Brouwer. Fed one on free that's taken on now for a backhander from Fair that's turned aside by Lundqvist.
There's some room there on the short side. Lundqvist deep in his net, down early. Fair not able to elevate that short side.
Eddie, Michael Barrow's been a target for the Rangers, and right now he's talking to Carl Hagelin going off the ice, but the Rangers told him after that last Callahan hit, you better buckle up, we're coming after you all night long.
Brushed on across for the feed over to Brassard, and a shot went just wide. McDonough with this one. And Brassard nearby. It's poked on off of Nash. Stepping to it, Erskine. Chopped it high behind. And it skipped along down near Brassard. Poked away from Backstrom. A little feed in front and a jam play at the front of the net. Holding on to it is Braden Holtby and a log jam of players right on top of him.
Well, what an opportunity for Derek Brassard. Watch this opportunity here, but keep an eye on Brassard after he takes the shot. Now watch where Brassard goes. Look at the area of the ice that he goes to. Watch where he ends up. Stop it right here. Look where he goes. Look at this soft little area. That's exactly where he scored from last night. The game-winning goal. So that's an area it looks like that Brassard especially wants to get to find that soft area in coverage.
Rattled around for control on back by Dorsett, who remarkably was the 3rd star in the game at New York yesterday, and he has it on his stick and shakes it back in for Brian Boyle, who was very effective. The shoulder into Green. The battle on board, hacked on by Alsner, fed on a cross, and a good anticipatory intercept there that came from Ward. Chimera brings it ahead. Chimera shot that's turned aside by Lundqvist, and it goes all the way back to center. Ward has to drop back defensively, fed up with Dorsett as it's jammed off the goalie stick, held by Holtby, and played along by Jack Hillen.
Good left pad save there from Henrik Lundqvist on Jason Chimera. Looked like Chimera wanted to pass that puck.
Followed up by Ovechkin, turning and wiping out there, still trying to fish it along with his stick, but could not. Led on up to Aaron Asham by Richards, floated on to Kreider, backhander off the glove of Holtby. Asham fed it to the point, bouncer was troubled, Ovechkin fed it ahead, went off McDonough, bounced around for Lundqvist to play away from Backstrom. Poked on by Alexi, jammed on by McDonough to be played by Girardi, stepped into by Johansson, and at the half boards the battle on, it squibbed to center and Ovechkin retrieved.
Good play there by Asham, winning the battle on the board, just chipping into the middle of the ice.
Well, they know they're pinching down. The Ranger forwards are talking about it on the bench.
Johansson rolled off that attempt from Girardi. It's fed onto the back. Carlson, a shot turned back out by Lundqvist and cleared back down the ice.
A great stop again. First one was a left pad. This one with the right pad.
Let's hear from Liam.
All right, Doc, update Game 7 for Boston. Cody Franzen's turnover led to the Bruins' first goal. Since then, Franzen has taken 2 shots, and he has scored 2 goals. This one off Zdeno Chara. The Leafs lead the Bruins 2-1 in the second period. Doc.
He is Canadian, I think. If this winds up being 2-1, he probably doesn't want to bother with political office, but in Toronto, he could have what he wanted. Nudged ahead and a 3-on-1. Hustling back now is Beagle. Brassard fed one, and Nash was shot. It wouldn't go as Holtby was there. Then around behind again. It can be peeled off and rifled, but it pinballed around in front, and then Holtby charged out. Hurtling over him was Nash after it had been hoisted away by Erskine, who has a second try, and this time gets it along near the blue line. Poked on back. Reaching for it was Tom Wilson, and it is poked along further by Green. Regathered to him by Wilson. And then he comes to the bench.
Eddie, confidence matters when you're a goal scorer. Right now, Rick Nash doesn't have a lot of confidence.
Puck played by a high stick. Clock stop. 3:39 gone, first period.
Well, the best way to gain some confidence is get this chance, and he gets it from Derek Brassard. Rick Nash gets this puck and tries to elevate it on Braden Holtby. I think you got to try to start shooting around the feet of the goaltender, but you're getting the chances, and for Rick Nash, you can't worry about anything that's happened prior. If you get the chances, you got to feed off of that and say the next one that I get is going to end up in the back of the net.
Alsner's shot turned away alertly by Lundqvist, who has had a couple of very difficult ones to stop. That one would not be in the prior twos category. As this is rattled back in, the shots totaled now are 4-1 in favor of the Caps. Hagelin directed that one back out. It plopped near Ribeiro. Ribeiro delays and then fires one along that was tipped back further by Fair, but gathered in, and Hagelin connects on with Stepan. Brushed along by Callahan. Played back along further for Green. Let it just too far for Brouwer and back down. Will it be icing? Strawman got there to do it. John Tortorella talked today to the media, with the media, and mentioned, you guys have mentioned, we only have 11 goals. Some of our guys need to score, that's for sure. But the other guys, he said, are undoubtedly thinking the same thing about themselves. They have 12. It's not a lot for 6 games total to have 12 and 11 goals scored. It is Alsner. Zuccarello hands it over. Pivoting with this now is Brassard. Back for Eminger. Save and a cover by Holtby. And then he's bumped. And he adds a little bit of a semi-somersault.
Boy, real good play by Derek Brassard to get the puck back to Steve Eminger. But this puck changes direction about 12 feet after it leaves the stick of Eminger. Right there. It changes direction a couple of times. It was like a pinball machine there, and it was Zuccarello that was going hard to the net. That it was the last deflection.
Well, some trickery from Washington, too. After that faceoff, Troy Brouwer came off, and Ovechkin went in behind the Ranger defense. It was a set play, and they took Brouwer off quickly to get Ovechkin in behind, and the Rangers let the defense pair know, be careful, he's sneaking in behind you.
Matthew Perreault is chased out. Stepan on the try with Chimera, who won that one. Chimera's face-off percentage is 75. He doesn't take too many. Callahan fed one around in front and tied up effectively by Carlson. That time was Hagelin. Meanwhile, this is back ahead to the Chimera corner. Girardi on him, mashed him a bit. Meanwhile, it can be taken but worked on back to the point for Erskine. Wristed one that skittered off a leg and hopped to the corner. Can be dealt further by Perreault. From defense to offense, the Rangers. Dorsett can't clear out, though. Ward gets in the way. Some bulky guys in the scrum this time. It comes to Ward. Dealt it just away from Chimera, who has been out there for a while. And then a collision between Ward and one of the referees. Perreault slipped it to Ward. Yanked it back to Hillen. Gives over to Alexei. And his shot went wide. Perreault turning with it yet again. Wiped out, but is able to play it back around. Chimera fed one in front, staggering down. Was Ward. Back out in front again. More scrapping with the sticks. Perreault nudged it on a cross. Regathered by Chimera. And that one went just wide. Hillen pinched along and was hit by Dorsett.
Really long shift here for McDonough and Girardi and the Rangers.
And look who's coming for Washington. Johansson back from Ovechkin. Good read by Oates.
knocked away from the reach of Callahan, and here comes Ovechkin with it. Ovechkin with a shot, and that one deflected up out of play. 13:52 to go, first period at Nose Street. Or is it prophecy? Off this tie-up, kicked on by Backstrom, regathered by Erskine, played back in, and the delayed offside is now wiped. Backstrom in on the forecheck, working out there with Johansson and Ovechkin. Erskine, as well as Carlson. Hagelin able to peel off with this one with Stepan and Callahan for the Rangers. Took a swat from Ovechkin, fed one in front that is tipped up high on a deflection out of play, and thus no penalty.
Stick of John Erskine, who had good position in the middle of the ice. Long stretch pass by Ryan McDonagh, getting the puck up to Carl Hagelin. Hagelin had a chance to shoot the puck towards the net, trying to make that extra pass to the middle of the ice, and the stick by Erskine deflected that puck, as you mentioned, Doc, right into the crowd.
Mike Ribeiro wades in for the faceoff. He has been strong in faceoffs, but the Rangers were prominent in that department yesterday. Alsner slugged one toward the front, poked through, and then just fed wide in a clever play by Zuccarello. Head on by Brouwer, and it can be controlled by the Caps. Led across to Alsner, marches ahead with Fair in his wake. Stumbled to the ice and played it too far for Fair. It is jammed around by Girardi over for McDonagh, but that off Fair, and then it's touched on back by Brouwer. Led quickly to Alsner, fires! Getting a piece of that one was Lundqvist. Green able to keep it alive. Floats one, that was directed on goal, and pad stopped by Lundqvist. More battling as Fair rocks in. He was the one who tipped that shot that was coming from Green. Bouncer is on back for Green to regather. 7 1/4 played here in the first period. The shots are 5-2 in favor of the Capitals. Icing will bring it back near Holtby.
Now Henrik Lundqvist has been stellar for the New York Rangers because it's a full-on assault right now by the Washington Capitals. Good puck movement, get bodies to net. There's Fair getting in the net. Eventually Henrik Lundqvist is going to have to make another big save in that last sequence, but he's been stellar for the Rangers all series long.
Wonderful goaltending. The save percentages coming into tonight were only 1/1000th apart. Thrown off the outside of the cage by Asher. Ryder trying to play there. Jam to the front, taken along. And some traffic led on back by Strawman across for Delzato, who whipped on the first opportunity. Rifled by Asham, back to Delzato, given to Strawman, and Strawman a shot. Oh, it's blocked and then covered. Catching it right out of the air was Holtby.
As we saw on that last replay for the Capitals, very similar here to the Rangers. They moved the puck D to D, defenseman to defenseman, Delzato to Strawman. Just an overstick handle by Strawman, and he stayed with it right here, and he shoots this rolling puck, dipping and diving off the blocker, off the shoulder, and right into the trapper of Braden Holtby.
Eddie, the Rangers have clearly seen something in zone coverage for the Caps because Kreider was basically where Brassard was earlier.
Imminger's shot was deflected wide. Ward over to poke it away from John Moore. Grabbed, though, by Pyatt and slung behind, and Hillen takes over there.
One of those adjustments in a series that you pick up and find the soft little area of coverage and try to create more offense. Talk about how little offense there's been or actual goals in this series. You got to try to find the soft spots.
Nice move by Alexei. Fed it on across for a shot by Perreault that was blocked. Taken on now by Dorsett and banged out to center.
Good block there from Johnny Moore.
Swung well away from Moore and back down. No icing here as Lundqvist just allows it to be played by the big defenseman who glides ahead and then is run into by Ovechkin. Dribbled along by Eminger, who is thumped by Ovechkin, who is going to make this a signature shift. That thrown into the catching glove of Lundqvist by Carlson.
Now a lot of people talking about Ovechkin not scoring, but he's racking up bodies. There's more getting one from Ovechkin later on. Same sequence. He's going to get Steve Eminger. That's a real good, clean, open ice hit by Alexander Ovechkin. And Eddie, as you know, never admire your pass too long when a heat-seeking missile like Ovechkin's on the ice.
Not a tiny guy, really. 6'3", 230, and he lets this one go off the face-off, and it was wide. And he bangs into McDonagh.
We've seen a couple of good opportunities in this game right off of face-offs.
But this is where somebody from the Rangers has to stabilize Ovechkin. And Boyle's going to try. You see McDonough's cut from the hit, Eddie. And Boyle's going right up to him. This is what you have to do.
Well, McDonough was leaning over just when he made that pass. Oh, that's a heavy, heavy hit by Alexander Ovechkin. He was awfully close to leaving his feet as he made contact on Ryan McDonough.
He knows who he plays against in every single series, and McDonough's done a tremendous job against Ovechkin. And one of the things Ovechkin has always shown over the course of his career, he goes after guys that he plays against.
Girardi banged it along. It went through Erskine and goes back down, and it will be icing. McDonough being tended to at the bench by Jim Ramsey. Wow.
There's more than one cut there, too. That's a forehead and under the eye. And you're talking about one of the better medical trainers in the league right there, Jimmy Ramsey.
Trained over 2 decades ago at the University of Manitoba, Jim Ramsey. Meanwhile, off this tie-up, it is Fair trying to slip it on through. Carried back up by Hagelin. Has Callahan with him and butchers one that's blocked away by Holtby. That's a compliment when you hatchet it like that. It is forced on out to center and on for Ribeiro. Ribeiro trickled it on through, and it is Lundqvist handing it over. Strawman takes this pass from Delzato and looks ahead. Callahan stymied by Alzner. In the way that time was Brouwer, who was the surrogate defenseman. Carried right ahead and lobbed back wide by Fair, who comes to the bench for another change in line. Nearly halfway through a scoreless first period. Shots are at 6-4 Capitals, and offside is called.
Well, it looks like Ryan McDonough's gone into the Ranger dressing room for some repairs after that big hit by Alexander Ovechkin.
Eddie, how would you deal with that as a coach in a game like this? When a guy like Ovechkin's running around, and he's obviously an important player for him, how would you deal with it?
Well, I mean, I think you have to answer it physically anytime you get an opportunity to put a good pop on him. But if I'm the Rangers, I like him running around. That means he doesn't have the puck.
Beagle sent it further. Down goes Wilson. Carried on around and jammed to the back to Alzner. Rips it on across for a quick punch to the corner by Alexi. Hustling along as Hendricks out front. What a great opportunity at the front of the cage that time for Tom Wilson.
Brad Richards to save the goal.
Into the catching glove of Lundqvist. Past the halfway point of the first. Some close calls at the back on the ice. Erskine hands it across. Carlson fired it around. Jabbed on by Ward. Taken by Chimera. Stood up a bit there. And it can be played on by Stepan. Led across now to Delzato, ripped it in from the checkered line, and around it goes near Carlson. Stood into by Callahan. Erskine gave it away, and the centering pass was blocked aside by Perreault.
Had Stepan standing right in front of the net. I don't think he realized it until the last second when he tried to wrap the puck in.
3-on-2, Carlson fires. Save made by Lundqvist.
There's a different officiating standard in Game 7s, isn't there, Eddie?
Well, to this point, it sure looks like it.
Yep. Big shot from the outside, and then Ryan Callahan comes in and shoves Chimera down. If that's a regular season, that's a penalty. But the people have to understand there's a different standard in Game 7s.
As long as it stays the same.
Correct. Agreed. Usually you get 2 to 3 penalties per team. Max 3.
Capitals would like to at least have one power play after yesterday.
Yes.
Anaheim was empty in Game 6 in Detroit. Those have been the 2 occasions when a team did not get a power play this year. Punched across now, winded away from Alzner by Dorsett. Taylor Pyatt worked on by Alzner, punched along near Dorsett. Rocked a little bit there and held along the boards by Green so that Alsner can step to this. He's got Ovechkin ahead, floated one off a glass support. Backstrom flipped it back in off the glove of Johansson. McDonough tested a bit by Ovechkin again, and a rifle came right back again for Johansson to play to Backstrom. Backstrom pulls now with Ovechkin jamming at the front. It comes to the back. Slid back over to Hillen. Hillen fires, and that one went wide. Rebound chopped away by Boyle and read by Alexei, and another shot is cut right off by McDonough. And alertly, he's able to play it along to Boyle, and Boyle stepping ahead. 8.25 minutes to go. First period, Game 7. Most of the probing has come from the Capitals. They have outshot the Rangers 8-4. Zuccarello, part of the forecheckers for the Rangers, along with Brassard. Meanwhile, this one tucked along where Nash will go to get it. Follow up by Alexei. And Alexei tried to blow it back in, but his stick shattered, so it didn't have the force he wanted. Fired back around, and a shift change has Green back out at defense now. This one is played back up the wing for a shot that is deflected to the glass and played back along, but then lost by Eminger. Zuccarello swatted it further, gathered in by Ribeiro, and he advances it back for the Capitals. Ribeiro brings it back on, has Bear nearby. Ribeiro pivots now, has Brouwer gliding by two. Send it on across now to Alsner. Fires one that's deflected, and it's skittered just wide. The stick was broken of Eminger on that shot, and that caused it to change direction. He is without a stick until he can get one from one of his teammates. Meanwhile, it's carried right back ahead by Zuccarello, and Zuccarello is able to gain the zone with the help of Brassard. Led back across for Del Zotto. He drifts in and fires one that's blocked away by Holtby. Shifting back to offense again of the Capitals. Under 7 minutes to go. Lobbed up the wing. Green is on in. Save Lundqvist. Poked in front. Oh, and it wouldn't go for Wilson as it hopped away from his stick. Now an odd man rush the other way. Dropped off by Kreider. Asham a shot. He scores! Asham!
I guess Chris Kreider can play a little bit, Eddie, with that speed. That backed everybody off, and then Asham's a beneficiary. 20 in white with blazing speed.
Well, the opportunity at one end. And with Mike Green down, he throws the puck back to the front of the net, and there are three Capitals caught. Kreider to Asham, short side, glove side on Braden Holtby.
You see how big a gap he created on Jack Hillen. And Asham just wires that high glove side. Speed of Kreider, saved by Lundqvist, and finish by Asham.
What a pass by Mike Ribeiro to give Mike Green that opportunity.
Stunned a bit was Girardi, but not so much that he couldn't alertly play that one back out to center. They circle back, and then it's Erskine. It is Ward. Ward jammed going to the front. Oh, it's sprawling as Lundqvist, and he's able to hang on. Whistle blown. Action doesn't stop.
Doc, I don't know how he stopped this puck. No clue. With all the bodies going to the net. Washington Capitals have pushed the pace here in the first period. Joel Ward driving to the net on Ryan McDonough, and you see his left leg out. Perreault's going to the net, Ward's going to the net, Chimera's going to the net, and I don't know how that stays out. It's a skate blade more than anything, I think, Eddie. Right there, it is a skate blade. What a save.
Talking about a toe pick. That's the way to make a stop right there. Capitals have had some great looks. 9 shots unofficially with 6:15 left to go, and I would say that there have been 3 A-plus chances. Lundqvist has been stellar.
McDonough bangs it back off. Alexei touched it on. A leaping grab there by Ovechkin. Stoked right on goal and directed to the glass by Lundqvist. Johansson pushed it behind. Stralman there, run off by Backstrom, reverses, and then is crunched a bit by Ovechkin, who tries to drag it free and make the play. Still they jostle. Boyle and Ovechkin are tangling. Slowly to the boards, it was Backstrom and Pyatt. Boyle out of Boston College brings it on and sends it right on goal from center. Alexei able to chop it on. It's shut it down there by Backstrom. Backstrom trying to step ahead Ovechkin, but it was defended away by McDonough.
Good help there from Ryan Boyle. He's got stride for stride with Ovechkin at the end of that shift. Real noticeable here, big Ryan Boyle to start.
Here's Wilson moving on, and his shot and a sliding block was made there.
Boyle's been a man possessed all series long for the New York Rangers. He's been stellar for them.
McDonough, who made that sprawling block, comes to the bench for a change. Dribbled back near Lundqvist, inside the trapezoid, yanked it on for the play to be made, but not through Alzner, and then changed around by Wilson. Meanwhile, around behind, taken by Eminger up the other way, and then Wilson bumped into Nash.
Shot there by Nash to protect the puck and be able to make a play out of the zone.
Eddie, you know, you talk about make your ears eyes and your eyes ears right there. Derek Brassard helped Nash a lot.
Ribeiro able to step to the outside, shooting one that's covered by Lundqvist, dropped, but then covered again. 4:40 to go in the first period of play. Aaron Asham has the only goal and
Carried over to this.
as the series has gone on, Pierre has been reporting, sometimes on air, sometimes off, that the lead chirper in the series has been Ribeiro. Centering pass went off the back of the cage. Stepan laid it back ahead for Callahan. Ribeiro right in the way. But then back from Stralman. Ribeiro rams into Stepan again and comes up with it. Led it across, but it was to Hagelin, and then a quick pass on to Callahan. And Callahan is able to wrist one into the glove. 4:10 to go, first period. The better looks, as Eddie said, belong to the Capitals, but a shot by Zuccarello is snapped up and held by Holtby. McCartney takes you inside the glass with Pierre.
Coming into this game, Alexander Ovechkin had 29 shots on goal for the Washington Capitals, but he's not known just for scoring. He's known for hitting too. You can ask John Moore, you can ask Ryan McDonough, and eventually you can ask Derek Dorsett and the entire Ranger bench. After that hit, Ovechkin looked at him and says, I'm here and ready to give you more.
Boy, the more I watch that replay, that hit on Ryan McDonough.
Charge?
Boy.
Charge, Eddie?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree.
Still, not slowing it up. It's awfully close. He elevated himself and threw himself into McDonough.
12 Capitals hits, Ovechkin with 5. Directed on now, and Carlson flipped one that went over the reach of Eminger and is played by Del Zotto, run off by Chimera. Eminger played it on. Thrown further by Stepan, up for grabs, but Carlson there for the Caps defense. Winds to Erskine. Met by Callahan, but not until he had released it up. Lost by Ward, feathered on the backhand and taken along by Carlson. They'll try the other way this time. And again, swatted on and then run into Perreault by Callahan, as this is Erskine banging it as far as center, and McDonough throwing it back in, and then Perreault working on McDonough.
They've definitely targeted McDonough because they know all the extra time he gets on the ice against Ovechkin. Matthew Pedro's not an overly large guy, but he's thick and he's strong on his feet, and he goes right after Ryan McDonough, and then watch the stick's going to come out at the end from Perreault right there on the back. But they've clearly decided that Ryan McDonough's a target, and they're going after him, and it's equal opportunity. It's everybody in red.
Neutralized face-off from something physical there. Thrown back along by Olsen. Sometimes that's a saw-off or a whistle that might have been errant. This one skipped around behind, and it's Holtby there, allowing it to go to Olsen.
That would have been icing. But Braden Holtby, as soon as he left the crease, the icing was waved off.
Eddie, did you see the follow-up attempt by Ovechkin on McDonough there after he moved the puck?
McDonough saw him at the last second.
Johansson brings it on with a shot that's blocked away by Girardi. The Rangers have been impressive in shot blocking, 11-1 in this game so far. Backstrom stood up by Girardi, took it right away. Reconnected there with McDonough. Puck up for grabs. Backstrom tried to slug it free, but it kicked on to be played further. Carried back out by Derek Dorsett and rolled back in. Holtby had trouble with that. Around again, it is Pyatt, but it's stripped of the puck in a strong defensive play that time, as it is hoisted all the way back down by Mike Green. My goodness, here's Ovechkin tipping it on along. Can be thrown on goal. Save made by Lundqvist. Rebound. in covering as the bad angle shot by Beagle was a fooler.
Oh, a quick little alley-oop by Mike Green. Michael Del Zotto turns the puck over. Ovechkin to Beagle, fresh off the bench. Just throw it to the front of the net. And Johansson with a second chance opportunity. Good stop by Lundqvist.
And Alexander Ovechkin, he just loves to get physical and do some creative things for the Capitals. But the biggest thing now is everybody in white knows Ovechkin's ready to play here in Game 7.
Off this tie-up, it is rolled along for the carry back out by Asham. Floated back in deep, and Kreider able to turn with it there. Close quarters to Asham. Popped one in front that's swatted away by Holtby.
Phillips got this equipment there for about 2 or 3 seconds and finally dropped the puck.
Eagle moves out with Hendricks, gives it across to Hillen, gaining the line, and throwing one that's carefully blocked away by Lundqvist, overskated, and then doubling back as Hendricks squirted it to the half boards. It's Wilson swatting it back. Hendricks there, stood up by Del Zotto. Eagle lugged it around. Oh, and a stick came up high, and there'll be a penalty as Hendricks was injured.
The goal scorer, Asham, comes up with the stick on Hendricks. Energy against energy. The power play for the Capitals goes to work. Asham physical, but the stick comes up. And it gets Hendricks not only in the mouth, but the follow-through gets him in the nose and the forehead as well.
A single minor penalty. The Caps to the power play. Here in Washington, they have scored a power play goal in every game. They are 3 for 9, and this one is sponsored by Kia Motors. But they will begin by chasing. Green and Ovechkin and Ribeiro. Backstrom brings it ahead. Knifed down by Brouwer. Good work by Girardi, but taken by Ovechkin and flung in front side of the net. A return pass kicked off by the pad of Lundqvist and then sailed back down the ice, and Holtby hurries out to set this one up.
Eddie, I know you coached Ryan McDonough many moons ago. I've never seen him play this well. He's playing unbelievable.
Ovechkin rattled it around. Ribeiro cross-bodied by McDonough. Shoved it on through to Backstrom. Backstrom over for Ovechkin, and he couldn't get a good shot away as that one was just shunted off his stick. And then played off of Hagelin, regathered, and sent by Brouwer to Green. And that one wouldn't go. Played back along further and down. Charging out again is Holtby to keep the pressure on. Rangers in the midst of a change. Touched right back ahead for Ribeiro again. Took the hit, rolled it behind. Brouwer over to play it, jammed from him by Stralman. It's helped onto the back now and walked across by Mike Green. Green just delays, feeds it on over. Sent back in by Backstrom, settled down by Ribeiro. Onto the back it comes, Green a drive, and that one blocked away and limping around some a step on and wheeled weakly at the horn by Backstrom, and the period comes to a close. Coming up on the Lexus Intermission Report, Liam and Mike and JR. Lundqvist causing the momentum to shift, and 2 goals from unlikely source for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2/3 of the entries are Aaron Asham. A goal, and the only minor that will carry over into the second. Kreider with the lone assist on Asham's goal at 13-19. 1-0 Rangers and Chris Rooney. And the reason was this one. Ovechkin on McDonough.
Pleading his case for what he thought he saw. I would agree there should have been a penalty on Alexander Ovechkin, but also looking to down the road, possibly, with a call. So working the officials and standing up for his player.
A pass escape. Girardi back. Brouwer poked it along off Girardi. Forced in close quarters by Ovechkin. Back near him again. Stood off by Girardi. It's wound on around now for Ribeiro. Ribeiro to the back to Green. 15 seconds to go, power play to Ribeiro once more. Drifts on. Looks over the traffic. Got it to Green again. Green drifting. Shoots one, and that blocked up high and out of play.
Eddie, I got to tell you, the Ranger bench is furious. They thought it was an icing. You see Girardi talking to the referee right now. They thought that was an icing on the Ranger bench. Very upset. Who wins the race?
Sure looked like Girardi got it.
It sure does. And they were really, really angry on the Ranger bench, I can tell you that.
3 seconds to go off the face-off tie-up. It's gotten to Green. Fires, and that one blocked down.
Great job by Brian Boyle.
Fed across by Green. Alsner has shot, and it's held by Lundqvist.
Brian Boyle is stunned by that shot from Mike Green. Went right on his knees and took it right in the midsection. Lose a face-off. You better not let that puck get to the front of the net. Watch Brian Boyle goes right down, drops right down, and hits him right up in the left arm, left chest area.
Eddie, yesterday he did the same thing in the last 40 seconds of the third period. Blocked a huge shot by Mike Green, that time with his instep.
From this tie-up, Ovechkin a shot, and that one deceptively strong, but wide. Rattled behind, and it's Backstrom there. Tried to reach Ovechkin, could not. Works to the outside now and shoveled it behind, taken by Johansson. Defended there by Strawman. Johansson turning. Ovechkin tangles up with Del Zotto. They go back at one another. Ovechkin had it knifed away by Strawman, and it can be played further to the point to Green. Green shoveled it back off to Backstrom. Floated back in. Johansson trying to buy something, no luck. Ovechkin then on back to Green again. Fakes the drive. Watched there by Zuccarello. Hands it on over for Alsner's shot that's wide. Brassard dumped it back off. Nash trying to play it there. Pivots on back. Shoved one off a stick that popped on out to center. Zuccarello can bring it on with Brassard. They crisscross. Zuccarello the shot. Blocked right back out by Holtby. Zuccarello could not handle the rebound. Yanked on by Ovechkin. Turned on back and Green canceled out. And a nice steal by Nash. Nash able to pivot to the outside. Watched by Alsner. Tried to center one. No luck.
Had the right idea there. Sioux Capitals went right at him and had Brassard wide open on that short side.
Ovechkin bumped into Brassard and took the puck away and fired it back down, but it will go for an icing.
We've got some tired players on the ice for the Washington Capitals. Go back to a play. Talk about the battle in front of that. Watch Marcus Johansson right there. Just falls to his feet. Yeah, his stick was getting held. Trying to realize that your feet fall from under you when you have your stick held. To me, you got to call that.
Call it once, you'll never have to worry about it again.
Step-on shot blocked down by Alsner, feathered along where Ovechkin wanted to play it, but instead it's Callahan banking it behind to Hagelin. Callahan moves to the front and duels there. Hagelin tried to slip it along, but in the way it is taken along by Chimera. Skip back down the ice, and yet again, there will be an icing. Download the NBC Sports Live Extra app to watch the game live on your phone or tablet, plus have access to live chats with experts from Pro Hockey Talk. The NBC Sports Live Extra app on NBCSports.com/Live Extra and NHL.com. Alsner connects with Green. I think this is going to happen again. Icing waved off this time. A mass job on Girardi. Perreault stepped into his man. It was Stepan. Led back on for the carry by Callahan, and the shot is blocked by Erskine. Tipped on now to center, and stepping to this one, marching on back is Chimera. Chimera delays and drops it along for Troy Brouwer. In his wake, it was Eminger. Chopped along and off of Erskine, and then drilled right into the catching glove of Lundqvist. What's new?
Well, Doc, the Bruins led this series 3-1. Now it is all slipping away. Down 3-1 in Game 7. Phil Kessel with the shot. Nazem Kadri with the rebound. 4-1 Toronto. Doc.
The third Game 7 in 89 years between those two teams. The first one in over half a century. Can you imagine the number of people in the streets in Toronto watching on the big screen, and the game's nowhere near them, but they know now that it's probably going to be another best of 7. Dorsett with a shot, rang it off the post. Eminger touched it across. Moore with it there. Got it to Eminger. Fires, and that one blocked. Rebound, score!
Eddie, after Dorsett hits the crossbar, the puck will come over to Eminger. He'll shoot it. It hits Dorsett's skate right onto the stick of Taylor Pyatt, and he'll cash.
Well, quick puck movement by the Rangers after this 2-on-1. Post shot from Derek Dorsett. Eminger to Moore. back over to Eminger. Quick shot, 2-on-1 in front of the net, and Taylor Pyatt with a wide open net. That shot never got to Braden Holtby.
It's Dorsett skates right to Pyatt, wide open net.
Two to nothing, early stages of the second period. So the unit that comes out for the Capitals, and that's always interesting to watch. Hendricks as well as Ward. Alexei defensively along with Hillen and Jay Beagle. Pivoting with this is Delzato. The Rangers a choice to make two, and they keep Boyle and Pyatt out there with Ryan Callahan. Back down it comes for Holtby to sweep it aside. Banked around behind to Alexei. Alexei with a pass that is blocked on by Beagle and then thrown right back in where Hillen will take over again. Shaken on back to center and tipped across now where Beagle. Crossed off enough by Moore. Turned back by Asher. Got by Ward. Pinched it on through to Beagle. Back for Ward off the tip of his stick and guided away by Lundqvist. It is Ward turning with it yet again. Trying to get it to Beagle in front. No luck there. Spun along by Asham. Waiting for it as Alzner as he came down. He booted it along further. Beagle around behind. Stood up there, taken along by Moore. Nudged on across for the return pass from Richards. And Moore leads it ahead to Kreider. Richards there. Kicked it along, but plenty of caps here. And it's floated on out to center where it's gloved down and played on by Ribeiro, but then he traveled a bit with it, came over the line a little early with the puck behind, and so offside. Inside the glass, Pierre brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
You could see this when he was a member of the University of Wisconsin Badgers. Ryan McDonough was going to evolve into a great NHL player. Here he is taking that crushing hit from Ovechkin. He gets some repairs. He's like the Rangers in ice time. He avoids that hit, takes a hit to make a play there, eats the puck, and then moves it up to Derek Dorsett. He jumps into the rush. Ryan McDonough has been the most consistent Ranger defenseman in this series, and without him, who knows what Ovechkin may have done. He's been devouring Ovechkin.
Up the wing is Zuccarello. Fed it on a cross. It's lobbed by Stralman. Kicked back to Delzato and sent on around behind for Brassard. Brassard for the Rangers, who have this 2-0 lead in Game 7 here at Washington. Sent it across, and it's off Zuccarello. Zuccarello pivoting further with it now. Guided it on over for Delzato. Yanked it on around behind off the tip of the stick of Alzner. It is Brassard weaving his way around. Shoved it on back to Delzato. Fires one. Score! 3-0!
Well, if you're Adam Oates, you might have to slow this game down, because right now it's a game of keep away, and the team that has it, it's the New York Rangers. Nash, Brassard, Delzato with the shot. Looks like this puck changes direction. Right there.
Troy Brouwer's skate got as he came over and he trying to block it. 20 and white, the Stanley Cup winner from Chicago back in 2010. Off his skate and past Holtby. You talked about it being keep away. You couldn't be more correct. Unbelievable job by the Rangers playing keep away there. Rope.
Hagelin bumped off. Ovechkin tried to reestablish his game and get something going for his team with another hit. Backstrom bounced off one from Callahan. 10 pins have fallen. It's carried back on now by Johansson over to Backstrom. For Johansson, flexed away by McDonough. And in traffic taken by Erskine as he collides there with Stepan. It's sent on out to center.
Too cute by Nicholas Backstrom. He's got to shoot that puck or take it to the net. There was a lane there after he made the quick little play. And then a high hit there, Ovechkin on Girardi, and Girardi looks stunned.
That angle try by Backstrom. In the memory bank of Capitals fans, at least, was a 7th game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here, in which they were humbled greatly by the Penguins in a lopsided score in Game 7. And this one is starting to look that way. Holtby out to get it. A goal by the Rangers in the first from Asham. Pyatt and Delzato with goals here in the second. 2 minutes and 10 seconds apart. Delzato rocketed one along that came back over near Boyle. Shook it on further for Pyatt. And you get valuable goals from the likes of Pyatt and Asha. And one from Delzato that becomes his first in the playoffs. You have gotten tons of bonus. Icing.
And I think how they score him as well is what's even more deflating is when you're moving the puck around in the offensive zone, and especially on that last goal, the Capitals were just staying in the middle of the ice, and really nobody was able to separate anybody. They changed sides, Zuccarello, Nash, Brassard, getting Delzato involved, and yeah, you got a break. You got a fortunate break. But the Capitals didn't touch the puck there for probably a good 24, 25 seconds. And that's what's demoralizing. Yes, the score.
Giveaway and a shot by Ward wound up going wide. Lobbed along by Moore, taken by Asham. It is Richard. Dropped it over for Kreider, shuffled it, but right into the path of Alexei. He sent it on ahead at center, and peeling away is Hendricks. Roughed up a bit by Eminger. Hendricks goes right after it again and collides with Kreider. Kreider boomed into by Wilson. So Alzner chased off by Richards, but right there to help out was Hendricks. Banged it back to Wilson. Floated one that's shrugged down by Beagle. He tries to step ahead. Spirits it only as far as Delzato on the turning stick of Brassard, who dropped it back in on the bounce. Scooped up and held by the netminder Holtby. 11:47 to go, second period. It is the Rangers on goals by Pyatt and Delzato, leading the Capitals 3-0. Momentarily, Adam Oates and Alexander Ovechkin at the bench. And it ended with an affirmative nod from Ovechkin. As this is taken along and sent through Green. Brassard worked on by Ribeiro. Thrown in front, and the try from the bad angle was perhaps a bank shot, hoping it would skip off Alzner. Did not work that time, but a good attempt. Alzner tries the other way with a play that is deflected back in. Puck going off Brouwer, and then to Fair, and then to Ribeiro, and then back to Green. Green locked one that Ribeiro's able to hang on to. Couldn't push it on through, still trying. Chopped on further, and Fair couldn't reach it. And so laid back on by Green. And an offside is called against the Capitals, and a little more roughhousing between Fair and Nash.
Well, if the New York Rangers are going to win this Game 7, let's go back to Game 6. Hardcore play. Dan Girardi gets lit up by Alexander Ovechkin. Here it is tonight. He gets lit up again. Girardi and McDonough have been towers of power for the New York Rangers this entire season, the last 2 years. Ovechkin knows it. They're back on the ice, and you can't say enough about the toughness of both of them. Fantastically tough.
Ward brought it back in, and his shot is carefully grabbed and held by the netminder Lundqvist off the stick of Chimera.
Eddie, you start doubling up your stars if you're Washington?
You have no choice. Absolutely.
Erskine a shot, turned aside by Lundqvist, and the rebound bounced around, and we see Stepan play it. In a little bit there was Hagelin as it comes on to Erskine. Erskine rattled it right back in again. It went through McDonough, back up the boards, where it is tangled up in a couple of players. It can be peeled off by Hagelin again. McDonough giving it across. Played back out by Girardi. Deflected back down where Holtby is able to delay and then throw one that kicked right back to him. He covers up as it's thrown back along and can be taken again by Ward with Chimera. They move back up. They pick up Carlson, who wants it. Kick to control, though. The pass just not the kind that he really wanted to move in with. And so it is ripped the other way, and that deflected off of Callahan, and now Callahan was hunched over, and then he's hit. Alexei stepped into him. A drive is over the catching glove of Holtby against the glass. Controlled by Pyatt, shoved on for a shot right off the pad of Holtby by Callahan. Pyatt stood up there around behind and stepping free with it now Steve Alexei. Alexei not going ahead for Ovechkin, but that one was fired right back in again by McDonough. past the halfway point of regulation time. It is 3-0 in favor of the Rangers. 1 in the first period, 2 in the second. Asham and Pyatt and Del Zotto have scored the goals for New York. Erskine rattled it right back in again, and it curled on over for McDonough to play. Able to sidestep, threw it through Ovechkin, played on by Boyle, tapped back in by Pyatt, and Alzner goes back to retrieve. Alzner crunched a little bit there by Dorsett, just following through. Backstrom connects on. Johansson shook it across. Ovechkin back to Backstrom, onto Alexi. Save made. Rebound, battle for it at the side of the net. Ovechkin tried to play it further, but that didn't work out. Is brought right back again by Richards. Steps back in, has a man breaking more. Oh, and the pass across. Ricocheted off the breaking winger. Back the other way as Dorsett, the breaking winger, comes to the bench. It's held by Johansson and a shot block. Played back along by Asham, and now it's Firewagon all the way. Richards able to walk it on. Alzner watching him. Richards feathered it on through. Blocked aside there, and still trying to make a play was Alzner. Fed onto the back, and it ricocheted off of Troy Brouwer. It popped onto Kreider, led to the back for Del Zotto, who couldn't stop it, then recovered near Alzner, but then it's Richards giving it up to Ribeiro.
If the Rangers play real good defensively, they're going to get more odd-man situations as the Capitals are starting to look like they're going to start taking some chances to create some offense to get back in this game.
Here's Brouwer, a shot, oh, and it hit off fair and popped over the top of the cage. Give it up to Brouwer, fair a shot, and that blocked wide by Stralman. Dragged along by Ribeiro. Bear trying to turn with it there. Brassard on him. They push it ahead to Nash, who moves out with Zuccarello and hands it to him. Zuccarello marching back ahead. Centered one, and it went off Brassard and hopped up high. Started back the other way by Hendricks. Moves it on across, and it's Green moving in. Green threw one across and driving to the net. Hendricks was defended away by Stralman. Hill unable to keep it alive. Hendricks tried to push it back, no luck. Rangers shifted back to center. Zuccarello with under 7.5 to go in the second, and his team up in Game 7 by 3.
Good stick by Rick Nash to chip that puck up. Allow Brassard the opportunity to get it up to Zuccarello.
Driving for this is Ovechkin, but the puck wound up going out of play, and the clock stopped. 7:13 to go, second period. No change. 3-0 Rangers. It may seem early with 7:13 to go in the second, but it strikes me that the next goal is enormous. Either 3-1 or 4-zip.
Yeah, no question, Doc. And I think for the Washington Capitals, their goal is to get that next one and slowly chip away. And I'm sure that that's the message on the bench.
Knocked down with Pyatt. More roughhouse work done by Beagle, and so it is Beagle able to bring this one back ahead. Jay Beagle walks it in, fed it over to Hendricks, and that shot was stymied by Boyle. And so the Rangers are able to step the other way. 6:45 to go. Drive by Dorsett, skipped off of Holtby and went wide of the post.
That did not miss by much. And again, another good defensive play by Brian Boyle in his own zone. Now, if you're the Rangers, there's no reason to engage. Just skate away. Just absolutely skate away. As the Capitals, what they're trying to do now is they're trying to fire each other up, get the crowd back into it, maybe get into a 4-on-4 situation, change the momentum of the game, change the dynamic of the game. But if you're the Rangers, you take the pushes and you just skate away.
Eddie, didn't you do a game in Philadelphia between the Penguins and the Flyers where Dan Carcillo went and challenged Maxime Talbot while the Flyers had a lead?
Yeah, they were up 3-0. Game 6.
Didn't turn out too well for Philadelphia.
It was an elimination game that day, and speaking of Pittsburgh, it was an elimination game here 4 years ago to the date. This day, when in the 7th game they defeated the Capitals in Washington by a score of 6-2. Bill Guerin, who was a part of the Penguins that day in Philadelphia that you mentioned, was a part of the Penguins in that one too. Off the face-off, it is sent across by Green to Alzner. Right back to Green again. Fakes the drive. Alzner there. Stick fails him. Shot went wide. Booted back along now. Fresh stick for Alzner. Lets that one go and turned aside by Lundqvist through a screen. Alsner again. Johansson tried to feed back to him, and it came on. Johansson again. He's got Ovechkin nearby. Reaches in, trying to pull it free, and Girardi got some help. Off a stick, jammed on by Backstrom. Wants to work further, but it's muscled as far as center before Green angles one back off. Johansson takes it in stride with Ovechkin breaking to the net. And his shot is held up high by Henrik Lundqvist. 5:52 to go in the second. 3-0 Rangers. To the back it comes. Erskine a shot. Erskine able to play this one, rifle it back along. The Boston-Toronto game is tied 4-4. The out-of-town board here shows 4-1. The election results are most times fast. A shot rang off the post, or it would have been 4-0 here.
What a shot by Derek Stepan.
Battled for behind and walked out in front of Dorsett, and then Hagelin a shot that was turned aside by Holtby. Delzato rattled it around. 5:15 to go. Carlson steps to this one. Tipped it back up the boards, and Ward wanted to get it further, but no luck. Strawman back to play defensively. Crisply back along now to Boyle. Broken up by Ward. Ward hands on now to Ribeiro. Ribeiro a shot, and it's off the outside of the cage. Taken to the outside, though, by Bear. Threw one on a cross, and a one-time try failed there from Brouwer. But it's Bear's puck to play yet again. Threw one in front, and it patted right back out again, and can be carried back up by the Rangers with the clock getting down to the last 4.5 of the second period. Long toss by Alexi, shot by Ribeiro into Delzato. And again back in from Rick Nash. Alexi takes it there and banks it carefully to Bear. Floated on across to Ribeiro. Tipped a little pass that went off Hillen. Crunched there by Eminger. And so it's McDonough. Up the boards, Alexi. Floated one that was away from the reach of Brouwer. Chopped along by Ribeiro, but then delayed and popped around behind for McDonough to take for the Rangers. Off of Nash. Good guarding done there by Alexi. Persistence got it on to Brouwer, but it's taken away again by Nash. Wafted to center where it's Brassard on to Zuccarello. Drops it back for Brassard. Brassard with a shot that's blocked away. Plenty of caps there. Guided to the boards, but Zuccarello was the first one.
Good block there by Hillen.
Eddie, do you sense that Washington's completely out of their game plan now? They're just trying to load up with skill and speed?
A shot by Hendricks is blocked away by Girardi and fed around behind for Beagle. Beagle out in front and a save made by Lundqvist. Green with it there, shooting one, and that one blocked up to the glass.
A lot more urgency from all of their players on the ice. Much more on their toes, looking to take some offensive chances, Pierre.
Stepan sized up by Green. Boyle comes by. All the way around to Girardi. Off the referee's skate, Beagle, and then Boyle. And then Alsner connects to Hendricks, who's able to force one on back, but short of icing, so the Caps can get this long change made. Hagelin again, 2 3/4 minutes to go here in the second. Around behind where Alsner is stymied and just sort of rolled along the fence by Asham. Squibbed ahead now for Johansson. Stepping to it is Ovechkin. Delzato back on defense. Ovechkin wanting to work his way along. Trickled one off Delzato's stick around behind. Ovechkin able to regather it there. Shuffled it back across, and it's Green with it. Green just holding now. Swept it across for Erskine. His shot directed on goal and saved by Lundqvist.
Good job there from Michael Delzato to deny Mike Green the opportunity, but you go back into this first period, no score. A couple of A-plus chances for the Washington Capitals, and Henrik Lundqvist gave his team an opportunity to find their game. And here in the second period, the redirect by Nicholas Backstrom, and it's got to be a perfect shot right now to beat Henrik Lundqvist, because he is seeing it. You see the numbers to this point.
Offensive zone face-off for the Capitals. It is Pyatt dumping it along. Carlson jammed it off Pyatt further. And it's lobbed on back now for Ward. Ward trying to work his way by. Pyatt brings it the other way, and then Carlson sizes him up. Pyatt holding, trying to do some work on Carlson, who was the smarter man this time. But then Pyatt dumped it along, and it's played by Perreault. Angled further now, tipped back out, and it's Chimera up the wing. Here's Chimera charging and shoots one that's held by Lundqvist. It is 4-4 going to overtime in Boston.
What a comeback.
They are all over the music here, that's for sure, but the scoreboard has been left alone. Maybe it's hand changed like Wrigley Field. It still shows 4-1.
2 goals scored with the goaltender out to tie that game up.
Unbelievable finish there that isn't finished. Caps fans are hoping for something better here than what they have been seeing. Oftentimes when you talk about history, you say, well, it wasn't the same guys on the team. But in many cases, it was the same group of people sitting in red jerseys down in the stands. And they contribute to the atmosphere, too. And they have seen something like this before. Several times. Will it be again tonight? One of those self-fulfilling prophecies of a team of great promise getting to a Game 7 and then just not having. Still time to prove otherwise. Johansson leads up the wing. Backstrom brings it on. Save Lundqvist. Followed up and curled to the outside. Johansson. Couple of head fakes there denied by Delzato, but he lifted it along, and then it's sent back to Green, who must play at center ice. Cranked back in by Alsner. Caps pour back in on a forecheck, but decide the better of it. They were looking tired at that point, and so they get a line change.
Ovechkin just came off the ice and shattered his stick in frustration.
Pyatt sent it back in. Boyle goes in with Green on this one. Reaching in was Hillen, taken along though further by Dorsett. Hillen ties up with Boyle. Rocking in was Green. Boyle with a big body around behind, turning there. Caps are all over him, and eventually one of them, Brouwer, could get it as far as the half court. Dorsett spun it on back. Second effort around for Boyle, but it's swapped out of play. And so for that reason, we will have a clock stoppage with 13 and a half to go in the second period. That is seconds.
Eddie and Doc, you really have to admire the role players for the New York Rangers in this huge Game 7. They've scored goals, they've checked, they've blocked shots. I mean, they've been all over the ice. And Eddie, you know as a former coach and player, when your role players are doing that, that really helps the energy on your bench.
Yeah, you got to do 2 things. I mean, everybody has a role, but those type of role players have to accept and execute. Whether you sit there for a long time or you're out there just to kill penalties or chip in offensively. So far, so good through 2 periods for the Rangers.
Coming up on the Discover Card Intermission Report, Liam, Mike, and Jeremy, the Bruins tie it late. Caps game initial decision on. 26 were on goal. 11 missed. 22 were blocked. 4 blocked shots by the Capitals, 22 blocked shots by Henrik's team.
Those don't count, the ones that go off the sticks, where a player gets in that shooting lane and blocks it or deflects it with his stick. The Rangers have been near perfect in that part of the game.
Well, here is Callahan breezing on in. Score! A backhand goal by Callahan, the captain of the Rangers. It's 4-0.
Eddie, the Rangers changed their tactics in the neutral zone. They went to a 1-4 delay, and Erskine wasn't expecting Callahan to jump up.
Well, he goes and tries to make a pass, and he fans on it, and here comes Ryan Callahan. Forehand to the backhand. That's not a good goal given up by Braden Holtby. You got to make this stop, especially when a player goes to his backhand there. Look at his stick. His stick is pointed out instead of up flush against the pads, and once his stick got let out, that's what left open the space in between the right arm and the right side.
Nash chased off by Alsner. Alsner fired it around and wide. Green steps up to this one. Fires one that's blocked. Taken back along by Ribeiro. Ribeiro spinning, hands it off the boards. Alsner there with a shot, turned aside by Lundqvist. Nash able to bump one around behind. Thrown as far as center and off the stick of Green. Holtby comes out, slumps it along as the capture in the midst of a chain. Ovechkin trying to pull his way through, no luck. Nice denial by Alsner on Zuccarello. The two of them cancel, and reaching in was Backstrom to play it on to Green. 1:10 into the third period. The potential of being a very long period here for the fans in Washington. Step-on shot, ricocheted across it and drive over the glove of Holtby that caught the glass from Callahan. Wedged along in traffic. Backstrom throws it to the boards. Ovechkin steps over to play this one. They've got a 4-on-2 developing. Ovechkin carries along, drops it onto Johansson. That one gloved down by Del Zotto and spiked on back, and Hagelin brings it on. Hagelin gains the zone, handed on to Stepan. Stepan across, and Strawman had to settle it down. Stepan turning with this one. Bennett in front, and Dorset's shot is stopped and then covered by Holtby.
Well, this is an interesting concept for the Rangers. See the 4 white sweaters back and 1 man funneling. That's a 1-4 delay. The Rangers don't play that usually. And this is what happens. Callahan jumps up because he knows he's got insulation from the defense. Forces a turnover from Erskine to the back of the net. And Eddie with a 3-0 lead. I'm sure John Tortorella said, don't give up odd man rushes. Lock your lanes. We'll play a delay in the neutral zone off any faceoff. And it worked out perfectly there.
No pressure, just have those guys back. Give yourself an opportunity. Make them, that being the Washington Capitals, dump the puck in and go get it.
One minor penalty in the game. Asham the high stick at 18:42 of the first. John Tortorella has had what is occasionally a custom with him, a conversation with the officials before the start of the 2 periods. The Boston Bruins have won in overtime in Boston. That will be celebrated as one of the great comebacks in Stanley Cup playoff history because it occurred in a 7th game and required a goalie pull to score 2 and to tie it. They still talk in Los Angeles about a game played in Inglewood called the Miracle of Manchester. That was coming from 5 down and then eventually winning in overtime. This was not that. But the gravity was a game 7. And the home team trailing, pulling the goaltender, tying it, and winning it in overtime. Erskine, the icing touch-up. So it's very noisy there, and by contrast, a very different atmosphere here. Into the streets, Faneuil Hall Marketplace. Can't imagine what the thousands that have been watching in the street in Toronto must be experiencing now.
Doc and Eddie, John Tortorella just called a timeout off that icing. Doesn't want to mess around. 4-0 lead.
Timeout presented by Gatorade Frost, light, crisp taste. It was the icing that was part of it. Do you think John was satisfied with what's been happening here in the third? They got an early goal from Callahan.
Yeah, I think just strictly giving those guys a breather and give them some direction on what they want to try to get accomplished after they win the face-off. And if they can't, just make sure everybody knows their assignments.
Fair touched it to the back. Shaken along by Carlson. Ribeiro steps to that one. Canceled out by Moore, and it hopped out of play. No penalty. Here's Liam.
Thanks, Doc. An update from a wild scene in Boston overtime leaves Bruins, and for the first time in NHL history, a team has won a Game 7 in which they trailed by 3 goals in the third period. Patrice Bergeron with the winner. Boston takes it down 5-4 in overtime. Doc.
It is Patrice Bergeron who has fought through injuries to still be the best player on the Bruins team. And you look at how the contribution that he made undoubtedly late in that game, as well as in overtime, and it just builds the pedestal a little higher.
Eddie, do you see any similarities between Bergeron and Taves in the way they play?
Well, I think they certainly take the game. Now we got a penalty call coming up. Looks like it's Troy Brouwer headed to the penalty box.
Frustration.
I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, they know what's going to happen on either side of the puck. That's what separates them. Play so well without the puck, so well in each other's defensive zone. Well, Derek Brassard with a couple of cross checks on Troy Brouwer, and then the retaliation. Not a good penalty by Brouwer, and opportunity on a power play for the Rangers.
Brought to you by Kia Motors. Jammed around behind Karlsson to get it there. Forced it back along to Beagle, and Beagle rocketed back down the ice.
And Eddie, this is a live fire exercise for the Rangers. If they do hold on to win this game, don't you think you want to make their power play a lot better than what it's been? Only 2 power play goals so far.
Want to gain your confidence, get some entries in. And, I don't know about the defenseman on there. John Tortorella likes to go with the 4 forwards. We've got 2 defensemen out here, and rightfully so. I want to play it safe.
Callahan tried to thread one through, didn't get as much on that as he would have liked. Dealt back along. That power play is 2 for 26 entering this 7th game. Nash bashed it on deeper, thrown by Richards, and it bounced where it can be regathered by Girardi. So Girardi banked it around behind. Richards stopped it there. Run into by Erskine, swatted along by Karlsson, picked up by Hendricks. Crowd starting to get a little snarlier. They have not really been booing much, and here's Backstrom around to the front. A save made by Lundqvist on him.
Ovechkin out there killing a penalty.
Go ahead, sorry, Eddie.
Big hit there by Ovechkin on Richards.
From this scrum, Stepan couldn't come up with it. Backstrom could, shoved onto Ovechkin, trying to go by Stralman. Turned back by Stepan, handed on across now to Moore, and a save made by Holtby. Brushed across Stepan, stepped into after a little bit of stick work done on him by Ovechkin. Played back on now by Backstrom. Leads for Ovechkin, who brings it ahead. Ovechkin fired it across. Stralman found that one, and it is just angled back out where it is read across by Hillen. But the pass would not connect for Backstrom, who comes to the bench for another change. 5.5 played in the 3rd period of Game 7. Capitals with 13 shots in each of the first 2 periods, and Henrik Lundqvist got them all. And it's 29 for 29 for that guy in this game.
We've seen that a lot all evening long from Alexander Ovechkin. Big hits. But on the score sheet, one shot on goal.
It is a weeknight here in Washington, and you are starting to see down near the ice a few more bluish purple seats exposed as opposed to those covered by red-shirted people.
There's, in certain sections, Doc, a mass exodus.
The Metro is working. There are parking garages, but there are a lot of frustrated people who feel like they've seen this scenario before, despite the fact that when Sergei Fedorov was here, it was different. He was in his 40s, let that one shot go that was magic. And the Capitals won that Game 7 against the New York Rangers. 20 minutes later, the Carolina Hurricanes came from behind against New Jersey late in the 3rd period of their 7th game and won that one in overtime. Hoisted on out to center, and the bouncer skipped across and is feathered on by Hillen. They try to jam further, and it is poked across now where Pyatt is able to scoop it back in.
Let's see more of that from the Rangers. Both the Capitals to come 200 feet. Any one-on-one play at the attacking blue line. That puck's got to get in deep. No turnovers if you're the Rangers.
Loyal with a shot that ricocheted off the pad of Holtby. Carried on by Brouwer, drops it on back to Ribeiro. Ribeiro holds toe drag, but that a neat denial there by Eminger. The ex-Capital got his own team that time. Eminger dropped it on for Brassard. Brassard all alone in front. Scores! Zuccarello! And it's 5-0.
Now they're moving right to the exits. And this is an exclamation point on this win for the New York Rangers with 13:21 to go.
Well, the Rangers were in the middle of a change. And Eminger drops his puck to Derek Brassard. Look at how much time he has. And then next thing you know, here comes Matt Zuccarello. Looks like he's going to the backhand. Last second, goes right to the forehand. No chance for Braden Holtby.
Eddie, when everybody gets on their own program, breakdowns like that happen, and Zuccarello takes advantage of it from a nifty feed from Brassard.
Here is Chimera. Save made by Lundqvist, and he covers. Chimera all by himself broke in. He has had a hot hand against the Rangers, but so have several Caps. Just not tonight. Geico here from Washington. 'Tis a sad spot tonight. 5-0 Rangers. Many of us have had lots of time since yesterday afternoon when Henrik Lundqvist authored a shutout in a hard-fought game that still saw players scrapping after the buzzer. And we did not envision this. Maybe you did. Maybe you thought, yeah, 5-0. If you fought 5-0 either team, you're to be congratulated. The next thing you need to do is join Mr. Olczyk and talk about the Preakness, which is coming up this week.
Right around the corner.
And we might have time for that here.
Little too early, Doc. Little too early.
The draw is not till later, right?
That's correct.
And that is Wednesday. Okay. Chimera lugged it back in, but it's an offside play.
Going to go back to the goal by Ryan Callahan, and I want everybody to keep an eye on, watch the stick positioning of Braden Holtby. Watch how he fans this out. We're going to roll it. Now watch it. Stop it right here. Look at his stick. He's anticipating either Callahan to come to the middle or make a pass, and he doesn't do either. Look where his stick is. So that's what exposes that area in between the right arm and the right hip. And that puck can't go in, especially in this situation at that time with them being down by 3 goals. They're kind of getting caught in between, and Callahan with the backhand goal.
Here's Beagle bringing it in, sent it across, but driving to the net was Wilson, and that one hopped through him, and going back now is Erskine to play. Harassed there by Richards. Erskine turned it along. Hendricks run into there. Hendricks shaken up, back to his feet again. And Kreider has been a very physical force since returning to the Rangers lineup. And it is Carlson yesterday.
Straight ahead speed. Pierre and I talked a lot about that with Chris Kreider since his emergence to the National Hockey League last year. He had a good strong game 1. Not play for a couple after that.
Pass worked for Hagelin, but he did not get the 6th one. Instead, it's Backstrom hoping to get the 1st one for Washington. On opening night, the Rangers were in Boston and lost 3-1. 2 games later, they won in Boston in overtime. And in February, they wound up winning over the Bruins in a shootout. So 2 of those games required extra time, and 1 of them got settled that way. So Ottawa-Pittsburgh, tomorrow coverage begins at 7 with NHL Live. San Jose and the Kings, NBC Sports Network tomorrow at 10, all times Eastern. And we have 2 original 6 series, 1 for sure and 1 strongly likely. The Rangers and the Bruins, and for sure, Chicago and Detroit. Little twisting move in front. What was that, Pierre?
No, I'm just listening to the guys go at one another down here on the benches.
I see, okay.
Had to close my mic for a while.
Ah, okay. Here is Fair. Thank you for doing that. Along now, it is chopped off of Delzato. And then Strawman. Shoulder came into him from Ribeiro and back up the boards. It's High drawn for Brouwer.
Game like this for John Tortorella and the New York Rangers is that you can really stretch out your bench. Give some guys some extra time out on that ice. And rest your guys like Stepan and Callahan and Girardi, McDonough. To play a lot of minutes. Bypass them if you want for a shift.
Should the Rangers win this game, 5-0, they're ahead with 10:06 to go. We always have to qualify it that way. Journalism school taught us that. Rangers 2-1 in the regular season, as documented a moment ago. The Penguins were 3-0 against the Senators, but things get to be different at playoff time, and those games had a lot more gravity than the ones during the season. Chicago was very prominent against Detroit in the regular season, but Detroit seems to be a far different team in the last week of the regular season and in the first series against Anaheim than the one that we had watched earlier.
They played a hard, big, fast game against an Anaheim team, because that's how they made their living. Really impressed with the way that they won, how they won.
Perreault brings it ahead. I can't remember the last time. Here is Hillen with a shot, and a hard, high shot at the glass. Poked around behind, and Eminger will turn with that one. 9:10 to go here in the third period.
You know, you documented good things. We're talking about resting players. McDonough and Girard, has been an arduous series for both of them. This is really a blessing for them to get ready for the big powerhouse that the Bruins have.
Kreider with a shot, and getting a piece of that was Holtby. And Kreider booms into Hillen. Hendricks gave it across, and it is walked ahead by Wilson. Wilson swings one, and a rebound. Oh, and down on the ice is Lundqvist, and the puck is underneath him. One of the better combinations the Caps have had all night, generated by the rookie Wilson, and it's still 5-0. Phrases that's often used, Sharks and Kings. It often is used when places where they haven't seen them play a lot. And Ottawa has been impressive, especially in a series that was high pressure against the Montreal Canadiens and turned out to have deliberate penalties, majors, misconducts.
Old-time hockey.
They emerged from it controlling their guys. Floated on out to center and back near Green. Kicked along further, Green, and then a little forearm shiver gently went into Pyatt.
We talk about the Senators, all the injuries. No Jason Spezza, Erik Karlsson, Craig Anderson.
Ron McCulloch.
Paul McLean. Unbelievable job. Head coach of the Senators.
It is more rattling it around behind. So you saw our lineup for tomorrow. And then it's Chicago-Detroit in Chicago with the opener there Wednesday, and then Thursday at 7:30. Boy, strong shot by Wilson, waffle boarded away by Lundqvist. Rangers at the Bruins in Game 1. We'll have that on NBC Sports Network at 7:30. Loaded out of play, and there'll be a penalty here. Second game of that series between the Rangers and Bruins will be on NBC Sunday afternoon at 3. So there will be a power play coming up. The Rangers are boxed for the first time. Power play is sponsored by Bacardi. The Ovechkin try did not get through. So it is Green to Ovechkin again. Not tonight. Henrik Lundqvist has not allowed a goal in about 112 minutes. He has paid well to do this, but in the playoffs, one of the great just things is everybody gets the same playoff share. And no one talks about it. Great glove save on Green. The money is not enormous compared to what they earn in the regular season. It's just a standard playoff share, but no one really talks about the money. They talk about getting their name on a trophy that has been around for 120 years. getting a ring that's, in most cases, too big to wear on a regular basis. Asked one of the Bruins how often he had worn his ring 12 months after it was presented to him. He held up his index finger just one time. But they're nice to have around. Across it comes to Carlson and led on further. Side of the net, the pass is blocked off by Stralman.
Nice play by Anton Stralman, who has been real strong.
And averaging over 21 minutes a game for the New York Rangers, and you're absolutely right, Eddie. He's had a very strong series.
Able to step up with, talk about injuries, no Mark Stahl for a long stretch of the year for the Rangers. Into the playoffs and then playing one game.
A rifle shot is deflected away by Lundqvist, and he will get back to his feet.
Eddie, how much longer do you play McDonough and Girardi in penalty kill situations? You keep going, or you back him off a little bit?
Yeah, well, I'd shut him down, but
So would I.
they had Callahan and Stepan out there to start with those two.
Over the summertime, the Caps will have some decisions to make, not a lot. Restricted free agents do include Johansson and Alston. They are not holding large salaries right now. That one deflected away.
I imagine Alston's going to get a nice, hefty raise.
I would think so.
Probably
As you
somewhere
should.
at 5, probably 5 plus, probably a year.
Mike Ribeiro came in at 5. He is one of the unrestricted free agents. Matt Hendricks is as well. Beagle, a shot that's deflected out of play. 5:04 to go here in the season. Eric are playing for Canada. They defeated Slovenia today in the World Championships 4-3. At 5:15 tomorrow morning Eastern Time, the United States, with a victory over Slovakia, could wind up as the #1 finisher in their division. And thus they would play either Germany, Latvia, or France in the quarterfinals. This is a tournament that the United States has not won for eons. The World Championships are played every year during this time, and oftentimes will wind up using a lot of players who either get knocked out in the first round or who do not make the playoffs. It is 80 years since the United States won the gold medal in the World Championships.
You know, he's been playing great for them, Doc and Eddie. John Gibson, young man out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, played for the Kitchener Rangers. Second-round pick to Anaheim, won a World Junior Gold Medal this year in Russia for the Americans. He's representing the United States and playing the Senior Men's World Championships.
19 years of age, he had a shutout in the U.S.'s most recent game. Bobby Butler, Paul Stastny, Steven Giunta were the goal scorers. And so that's 5:15 tomorrow morning Eastern Time on NBC Sports Network. The final preliminary game, and then it becomes single game knockout. The quarterfinals, the semifinal, and the final.
Team Canada just added PK Subban from the Montreal Canadiens.
It has been a hard time for number 8. He does not come up empty much. A goal in game 1 and nothing since. And that's the longest drought he's ever had.
9 shots on goal in game 5.
Thor's had a shot that sealed up.
5 sorry, Doc.
Yeah.
5 yesterday in game 6.
Well, you pointed out it wasn't without effort.
Yeah.
Carlson hatcheted one that went wide. Brouwer tries to center and no luck. Subban over in the Scandinavian countries, 24 today. This one skipped on around and it is fed back up to Alsner, and we get a stoppage of play and a slash. 3:32 to go in the third, and what have we?
Well, Friday, the NBC Sports Network continues coverage of the pursuit of the Triple Crown. Can Orb do it? The second jewel of the Triple Crown. It all leads up to the running of the Preakness Stakes, Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on NBC.
I'm listening for your trifecta, and that's all I know.
And the arrival of Orb. Difficult race course today.
imagine when he gives that Pierre, the tote board is going to reflect it almost immediately?
You know, Doc, I was thinking because we have potential for inside info that he wouldn't share with the rest of the world.
No, he did last time. It was kind of marvelous to see that it worked out the way it did. Husqvarna presents this power play. The last chance probably for the Rangers to practice it before they have to deal with the likes of Bergeron and Char and the others on the Boston Bruins that will be out for the penalty kill.
Good penalty kill there in Boston.
Rushed right back for Zuccarello. They got workmanlike jobs done this year from guys like Jay Beagle, the Capitals did, as he drags this one along. Their farm team in Hershey made it on the final day of the season into the playoffs, won the first two against Providence before losing, and Tom Wilson was a part of 3 of those games, and he got a chance to play in his first Stanley Cup playoff game. His first game ever in the NHL was in the playoffs. So that was exciting, but it will not be a whole lot as a nice try there by Nash was blocked down by Holtby. It will not ring very true, given the sound of the horn at the end of this game, 2 minutes and 25 seconds from now. And Henrik Lundqvist is going after back-to-back shutouts here in these playoffs. When his team was down 3-2 was the Everett Hughes. Not that he was terribly small at any other time this year. 24 wins. Chopped on to Brassard, who was the marvel of this playoff series. Bashed off the outside of the cage. Brassard up with it again. When the other guns were silent, Brassard was amazing. Thrown by Zuccarello onto Holtby.
Puck was finding the dot. The puck, he has that ability. He's in the offensive zone, he's going to find the puck. The puck's going to find him.
100 left. Nash's shot is off Alexi. Carried back out again by Ward. Ward just doubles back. There's still some voices to be raised, and the sounder of the horn gets a response for his trouble here. Pretty loyal response coming from a very humiliating night that the fans and the team in red has faced here. From the New York Rangers, who have gotten what they have richly deserved by their effort tonight, and that is a trip up to Boston for Thursday night in Game 1. Chimera tries to play it through, hoisted on out. The outcome has been known for a long time in this one. But can you imagine how you have to calm down from your shock in a handshake line if you are a Toronto Maple Leaf tonight in Boston with all that happened in the latter stages of that game in an overtime? But you do. It's a part of the tradition, and somehow or other you go through it. So your heart is certainly not in a thing. Left behind by Beagle. And played back in by Hendricks. Lundqvist threw it back along, and we get the horn sounding, and the New York Rangers and Henrik Lundqvist with back-to-back shutouts, coming from 3-2 down in the series to win it in 7 games here in Washington by a score of 5-0.
Well, the first 7-8 minutes of this game, it was that man right there, Henrik Lundqvist, that made 2 or 3 A+ saves to give his team an opportunity to get their game in order.
You saw earlier the handshake greeting of Lundqvist with Braden Holtby, and it was in the same role as it will be as the handshake line begins now. The winning goalie in white, the losing goalie in red. The two captains. You go through it, but your heart's not in it. The disappointment is not necessarily in the anger at the opposition, as with yourself.
thought Brian Boyle had an outstanding game, Doc. He did a lot of little things, shot blocking, win some face-offs, eat up space, real good defensively. And there you see Lundqvist and Ovechkin. Respectful hug. And I thought Boyle had an outstanding game here tonight.
Countryman, Lundqvist, and Backstrom. At the very end of the line is Braden Holtby. Ovechkin has shaken his last hand. There is a mutual respect that guys that have the extra equipment that they have to wear and know that the pressure is on them every game have for one another. The Caps will remain out to salute their crowd. As is their tradition, the Rangers will get a chance to salute their own crowd at the Garden. And bloody